Inanna, queen of heaven and tutelary goddess of Uruk, was eager to enhance the welfare and prosperity of her city. She aimed to make Uruk the center of Sumerian civilization, thereby exalting her own name and fame. Determined to achieve this, she decided to visit Eridu, the ancient and venerable seat of Sumerian culture. In Eridu resided Enki, the Lord of Wisdom, who knows the very heart of the gods and dwells in the watery abyss known as the Abzu. Enki was in charge of all the divine decrees fundamental to civilization. Inanna believed that if she could obtain these decrees, by any means necessary, and bring them to Uruk, its glory, and her own, would be unmatched. As Inanna approached the Abzu of Eridu, Enki, undoubtedly charmed by her presence, called his messenger Isimud and instructed him, "Come, my messenger Isimud, give ear to my instructions. A word I will say to thee, take my word. The maid all alone has directed her step to the Abzu. Inanna all alone has directed her step to the Abzu. Have the maid enter the Abzu of Eridu. Have Inanna enter the Abzu of Eridu. Give her to eat barley cake with butter. Pour for her cold water that freshens the heart. Give her to drink date wine in the face of the lion. At the pure table, the table of heaven, speak to Inanna words of greeting." Isimud obeyed his master's orders exactly, and Inanna and Enki sat down to feast. After their hearts had become happy with drink, Enki exclaimed, "O name of my power, O name of my power, to the pure Inanna, my daughter, I shall present lordship, godship, the tiara exalted and enduring, the throne of kingship." Pure Inanna accepted these gifts. Enki continued, "O name of my power, O name of my power, to the pure Inanna, my daughter, I shall present the exalted scepter, staffs, the exalted shrine, shepherdship, kingship." Pure Inanna took these gifts as well. Enki proceeded to present her with over 100 divine decrees that formed the basis of Sumerian civilization. These decrees included aspects such as lordship, godship, the exalted and enduring crown, the throne of kingship, the exalted scepter, the exalted shrine, shepherdship, kingship, numerous priestly offices, truth, descent into and ascent from the nether world, the standard, the flood, sexual intercourse and prostitution, the legal and libelous tongues, art, holy cult chambers, the hierodule of heaven, music, eldership, heroism, power, enmity, straightforwardness, destruction of cities, lamentation, rejoicing, falsehood, the rebel land, goodness and justice, various crafts, carpenter, metalworker, scribe, smith, leatherworker, mason, basket weaver, wisdom and understanding, purification, fear and outcry, kindling and consuming flames, weariness, the shout of victory, counsel, the troubled heart, judgment and decision, exuberance, and musical instruments. Inanna eagerly accepted the gifts offered by the drunken Enki, loaded them onto her boat of heaven, and set off for Uruk with her precious cargo. However, once the effects of the banquet wore off, Enki noticed that the divine decrees were missing. He turned to Isimud, who informed him that he, Enki, had presented them to Inanna. Upset, Enki regretted his generosity and decided to prevent the boat of heaven from reaching Uruk at all costs. He dispatched Isimud along with a group of sea monsters to intercept Inanna and her boat at the first of the 7 stopping stations between the Abzu of Eridu and Uruk. The sea monsters were to seize the boat of heaven from Inanna, but she herself was to be allowed to continue her journey to Uruk on foot. The passage detailing Enki's instructions to Isimud and Isimud's conversation with Inanna, who reproached her father Enki, is considered a classic poetic gem. The prince calls his messenger Isimud. Enki gives the word to the good name of heaven. "O my messenger Isimud, my good name of heaven." Isimud responds, "O my king Enki, here I stand, forever in praise." Enki inquires, "The boat of heaven, where now has it arrived?" Isimud replies, "At the Key Idal it has arrived." Enki instructs, "Go, and let the sea monsters seize it from her." Isimud does as instructed, overtakes the boat of heaven, and says to Inanna, "O my queen, thy father has sent me to thee. O Inanna, thy father has sent me to thee. Thy father, exalted is his speech, Enki, exalted is his utterance. His great words are not to go unheeded. Holy Inanna answers, My father, what has he spoken to thee? What has he said to thee? His great words that are not to go unheeded. What pray are they? Isimud responds, My king has spoken to me. Enki has said to me, Let Inanna go to Uruk, but thou, bring me back the boat of heaven to Eridu. Holy Inanna questions, My father, why pray has he changed his word to me? Why has he broken his righteous word to me? Why has he defiled his great words to me? My father has spoken to me falsehood, has spoken to me falsehood. Falsely has he uttered the name of his power, the name of the Abzu. Barely had she uttered these words when the sea monsters seized the boat of heaven. Inanna then called to her messenger Ninshubur, Come, my true messenger of Inanna, my messenger of favorable words, my carrier of true words, whose hand never falters, whose foot never falters, save the boat of heaven, and Inanna's presented decrees. Ninshubur complied, but Enki was persistent. He sent Isimud with various sea monsters to seize the boat of heaven at each of the 7 stopping points between Eridu and Uruk. Each time, Ninshubur came to Inanna's rescue. Finally, Inanna and her boat arrived safely at Uruk. Amidst jubilation and feasting by its delighted inhabitants, she unloaded the divine decrees one by one. The poem concludes with a speech addressed by Enki to Inanna. However, the text is significantly damaged, making it unclear whether his words were reconciliatory or retaliatory.